Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 1 of SGI TV. My name's Kenny McBride, and I'm joined here in the commentary position by the head coach of Ronin Grappling, Giles Garcia. Giles, how are you doing?
Kenny, I'm fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me along to commentate. I'm very excited. Can't wait to see these matches.
Well, on that note, Giles, let's take a look at our first match. This is Jack Brown from Lycans versus Cormac Anderson, joining us from down south, down in Wales, from Draig team. Tell us, what do you know about these two guys?
Well, Jack, I know, has studied the leglock game very intensely for several years now and is a veteran of shows like this. However, can't count out Cormac. He comes from a great team in Draig, really high pedigree. This will be quite an exciting match, I reckon.
Well, Giles, let's hear from the athletes, from Cormac Anderson, and first, from Jack Brown.
This is like my 5th or something, SGI, done a few. I done the first one back in 2018 and done a few since then.
Brilliant. And so how do you feel about the tournament lineup?
It's really good, really good. I think I'm the smallest by quite a margin, so it'll be good.
And how do you feel about your first round opponent?
He's probably the best in the tournament, so I would have liked this match to be in the final, to be honest, but it'll be good. Be good.
And who would you hope to meet later in the tournament? Is there anybody?
Well, Neil's my teammate. I'd like to avoid Neil if possible. He's a big boy as well, probably batter me. Anybody else, I'm cool with.
And have you fought any of these competitors before?
Neil every day in the gym, but apart from that, nah.
And
New weight class for me.
What should viewers expect from you?
I'm going to pull guard, sit my arse, and try and tickle some legs, as usual.
My first SGI, second time in Scotland last month, so it's cool to be here again. And first time on the show.
And what did you make of the lineup?
Oh, really good talent. Yeah, really good. Super happy against guys that I haven't faced in competition yet, so I'm really happy with the lineup.
What should viewers expect from you?
High pace, a lot of passing, always going for the submission, and avoiding leg locks.
Well, Giles, great to hear from both guys there as we get underway under our head referee, Marcelo Coppa, and Jack there does in fact sit straight to his backside.
Yes, that was, he said he was going to do it, and indeed he has. Jack, as I've mentioned, is a big exponent of the leg lock game, and it's his raison d'etre, if you will.
Yeah, you see him there digging for our leg, but Cormac does seem to be defending fairly well so far.
Now, technical detail, you see that Cormac is aware of the left leg of Jack. He was trying to pummel that in, get a little bit of false reap action going. However, he's read that. He's putting a little bit of a post on that shin, and he's just trying to get past there.
And they're good guard recovery there from Jack.
Yes.
But Cormac straight into trying to pass again, though.
Yeah. However, Jack is doing a very good job of moving side to side, pivoting, a little bit of inversions. If you're playing a leg lock game, you have to be able to invert, simple as, and deal with people walking or coming around at quite an angle. Doing very nice from Jack, but also clever work from Cormac so far.
Yeah, Cormac monitoring both legs there, just trying to find a way through this guard. As you say, all that inversion that you get with the leg lock game is also very useful in guard retention.
Yep, and we see there.
Oh, there he is, in on the leg. But Cormac pulls it straight back out.
Yeah, so you see Jack's trying to attach himself to the back of that knee there. They're both on their side. Jack's got it. Oh.
Yeah, more good defence from Cormac, but Jack's still fighting for it.
Yeah, he's still trying to get that knee line. However, Cormac is...
And he's out.
Yeah, no, that was good work by Cormac. Getting his leg ramrod straight and just trying to clear that knee line. Very calm as well.
And I mean, the leg lock game has become just such a huge part of no-gi jiu-jitsu over the last few years, Giles. Is it something you're very into yourself?
Yeah, I actually think it's an important part of the game, and really if you're not learning leg locks at your gym, then you are neglecting a large part of the game, especially no-gi. So it's a smart move.
Yeah, as they say, what's the point in ignoring half of the body?
Exactly. As the bald man with a rash guard and fanny pack once said.
And Cormac's still just desperately trying to get through this guard, but Jack defending for all he's worth.
Yeah. So at that point, you saw Cormac really tried to go all the way around to the sort of head, almost to a north-south position. However, Jack monitored it very carefully and was able to kind of frame with his arms and just keep him at bay. Excellent guard retention work here by Jack.
Yeah, I mean, these are high-level competitors, but a lot of that guard retention stuff is white belts techniques. It's just done at a very high level.
Yeah, you could definitely say that. Now, I would just like to note that obviously Cormac is only, air quotes, a purple belt. However, once you get to purple belt, the lines start getting very blurry. So do not let the belts fool you. They are really irrelevant at that stage to an extent.
Yeah, a very good purple belt can beat an awful lot of black belts.
Oh, God, aye.
Especially when they're your age, Giles, is that?
Well, when you get a little bit older, you have to start making some concessions, shall we say.
With those legs tied up in a real pretzel here just now.
Yeah,
Not sure what Jack's going to be able to get from here.
So Jack will be looking to try and expose a heel or a leg or try and separate Cormac's legs. He's doing a pretty good job of keeping his base in his head. He's looking to strip out one of the legs. Yeah, but Cormac's staying very calm here. Good work here. And yeah, you see Jack's got his right shin and knee wedged in tightly. That will help him break open the legs and hopefully expose something that he can essentially bend the wrong way.
Oh, but yeah, Cormac just slips out again and straight back into that guard pass. And like he said, he really wants to try and push the pace here because it's hard work. Even though Jack is sat on his backside, as he said, it is really grueling doing this much guard recovery all the time.
Oh yeah, I mean I've actually had the privilege of watching guys like Craig Jones and Lachlan Giles roll together, and Craig's been playing a lot of guard passing, very high pace, and even Lachlan was.
Oh, whoa, Cormac's in on the back there.
Right there. Oh, well now.
Has he got the body triangle there? I think he has.
We can't quite see from this angle. However, Jack is monitoring that top leg using the left arm. He will no doubt be protecting his neck, as he should do.
But Cormac, obviously, I mean, back control is the most dominant position, and he's really trying to get his neck trying to attack Jack's neck here.
Yeah, so Cormac's legs are separated. He's looking to get that top hook in. Jack's left arm keeping that at bay, and he's doing a good job of grip fighting with his right. He will have a chance to get out if he's careful.
But he's on the neck. Oh, Cormac's on the neck. Is he going to get the finish here?
Well, it's on the face, and Jack is toughing it out.
Yeah. Little bit too high there, but
and it's on
a good
again.
attempt.
Oh, it's Cormac's really going for this. He is insistent. He's really
stretching him out as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a horrible position for Jack to be in.
Kudos to Jack though, not letting it happen, keeping his composure. That's power half Nelson going on there.
Yep, he's in turtle, trying to just get Cormac off him somehow, give him something to think about. But it is a tough position from here.
Yeah. There's still scope for Jack to escape. He's not letting the hooks come in. That's good.
And there he does recover guard again. Yeah, this is a really impressive display of guard work from Jack Brown here.
Yeah. It will be a little bit fatiguing for him, but it's still excellent work.
And if he gets in on a leg, then he's going to feel a lot less tired afterwards.
Exactly.
Always a little surge of energy you get from ripping somebody's knee apart.
Well,
but there, Cormac's in on the back again, and I think he has got both hooks in now.
Yes. That's
and once again, going back to Jack's neck.
Yes. However, Jack again has shifted his body angle ever so slightly, so he's going to slightly spoil the choke opportunity for Cormac, and he's making all these little adjustments he's making to make it a little bit more difficult for the choke to get sunk in.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you do start to learn. There's a lot of defence you can do even at that late stage, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, the first defence is not be there, obviously, but it's not a perfect world.
It's certainly not been a perfect world for Jack Brown in this match.
No, he's been up against it. That's twice he's had Cormac on his back and coming close to, if not getting a choke, at least ripping part of his face apart.
Yeah, he would be on for a comfortable points win, I think, here. But of course, this is a sub-only tournament. Submission only is the way to win. If we do go to our time limits, we do have judges here, but certainly everyone in these tournaments is gunning for submissions.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of competitors are attracted to this format because it suits their style of play. Other people prefer a kind of more methodical point system, but shows that this really attracts a certain kind of competitor who wants a high pace, high energy, or even those who just want to quickly finish and go home and have a beer.
There we go, just straight to the back again by Cormac Anderson, trying to sneak that second hook in.
Yes. So
It's really not been a good night for Jack Brown against Cormac Anderson. For a purple belt, as you say, this shows how close a purple belt can be to black belt level.
Yeah, as I said, the belts, when it gets to a certain point, doesn't really matter too much. People shouldn't really focus on them. And again, you see Cormac's looking to attack the upper body. He didn't have both hooks in, but he did have his one of his knees wedged in, and Jack
comes up on top.
Yeah.
Oh, but that is the time. Oh, heartbreaking for Jack there, just when he finally got on top and potentially had a chance to do something. Ran out of time. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of shock there, as Cormac Anderson does get his hand raised by Marcelo Coppa. Yeah. Great match, great effort from Jack Brown, but a really dominant showing from young Cormac Anderson here. Like we said, he's a real breakthrough performer.
Yeah, I mean, you get so many guys coming to the game now. They advance very quickly. Their rise is astronomical.
Yeah. But let's just go backstage now. I think we are going to hear from our winner tonight, Cormac Anderson.
Reflect on your fight that's just happened and how you feel about your performance.
Yeah, so I knew going in he was a really good leg locker. So I was keeping my hips away, keeping my legs away. A few times he got hold of them, but I managed to strip, escape, and then work my pass in, get to north-south, take the back, and that's where I want to be.
And what surprised you about your opponent?
Surprised that he didn't try and wrestle up. At times I thought he could have tried to wrestle up and sort of bring it more back towards me, but he was quite happy playing legs. So yeah, I was happy to play into that game.
And can you tell us, did you have a strategy for this match and did it work?
Yeah, that was the exact strategy. Avoid the leg locks, do the pressure pass in, put the pace in him, I believe in my gas tank, I believe in outpace most people, so that's what I felt happened.
So that was Cormac Anderson moving on into the semi-finals, and he's going to be facing someone in our next round. That's going to be either Cal Pacino, Ellenor, or Scott McLellan. So first of all, what do you think of Cormac's performance there?
Well, considering he managed to beat Jack Brown, who is a very seasoned practitioner, I fancy his chances, frankly.
Yeah, well, he is going to have a tough fight in the next round, though. As we said, Cal Pacino, Ellenor, brown belt from Northeast Jiu-Jitsu in Sunderland, known as the Sunderland Strangler, facing Scott McLellan from my favourite named gym in the country, SMAC, the Scottish Martial Arts Centre. So who's your pick here?
Well, I think I'm going to be edging it towards Cal. Cal's an extremely prolific competitor. Can't underestimate Scott McLellan. He has competed in SGI a few times, really solid performances. However, Cal has got a real good pedigree, so I'm leaning towards Cal here.
Well, Giles, let's hear from both competitors, from Scott McLellan and first from Cal Mellon.
How do you feel about the tournament lineup?
I think it's tough. Obviously, I'm 75 kilos in a 90 division, so it's going to be hard work regardless. But I think it's a tough one. There's a couple of really high-level guys in it. I believe myself to be one of them. I think it's going to be fun. I could get finished. I could finish them. Let's find out, but I'm excited.
Brilliant. And how do you feel about your first round opponent?
I haven't really seen much of him. He looks thick. He's like a bus. He looks strong. If it's the right guy, it could be anybody in there. I think for what the most part is, if it's who I think it is, he looks strong.
And who do you think or hope you'll meet later in the tournament?
Anybody. As I say that, I know a couple of them, the sound guys. I'm not really bothered. To me, being here today is just about showing that, get in and have a scrap against someone who's good and who's twice the size of you, because then if I can prove my technique's good, the best way of doing it is by beating somebody bigger and better than us. So I believe that's what I'm going to show today, or at least try and show.
Brilliant. And have you fought any of the competitors before?
Yes, Luke Johnson won before in it was a Grapple Fest contenders. We had a really fun back and forth match. Great contest. He's a good friend of mine, as I say. He's a great guy, and we had a good war. So if he gets to the final and I get to the final, that's when we'll meet. So it's worked out well. It's fair, so I don't have to compete against a friend early on. So it's good.
And what should viewers expect from you?
Fucking fun. That's all I want. I want to come out and put on a show. I'm not really bothered. I just want to have a good scrap that people enjoy and remember.
I've competed, I think 3 or 4 times I've competed on the SGI now. I've not had much time to prepare this time, but I'm always happy to jump in if they need a thought spell.
So how do you feel about the tournament lineup?
I think it's pretty high level. I think it's going to be exciting. I think I'll probably be the underdog, especially jumping in late. But my first opponent, Ellenor, he's already came to see me. I know he's expecting fireworks, so I'm expecting an exciting first match, and then we'll just take it from there as it comes.
So how do you feel about your first round opponent?
I think he's a little bit smaller than the rest of the under 90 guys, so I expect he's going to have the gas tank to push. So I feel like he's going to be tough. I know he's tough. I know he's wild. So I think it'll be probably fast paced. He's going to be looking for scrambles. So I think I'm going to try and play the big man game, try and slow this down. The crowd might not like it, but it's only for the first one. I'm not wanting to get gassed out by a guy that's smaller than me, and he takes advantage of me come the end. So hopefully use the big man power, take him down, get a submission.
Have you fought any of these competitors before?
No, I haven't, no. So again, I've not really done much homework on them. I only jump in at like 8-9 days notice, and we're just going to take it as it comes on the day. I know Cal's a little bit smaller than me, but that's about it.
No worries. And what should viewers expect from you?
Well, unfortunately the first match, I'm going to be trying to slow things down. I didn't want to, as I said, get gassed off a guy that's got smaller. He's going to be looking for scrambles to take advantage of. But after that, definitely attacking submissions, going. Hopefully guys will stand up and stay on their feet. They might pull guard, we'll see. But exciting matches for sure.
Well, both men here, Giles, are MMA fighters, so they're certainly expect an aggressive fight from them. But one thing that did come up in the interviews there is the big weight difference. Ellenor came in at 76 kilos, Scott McLellan right on the limit at 89.8.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, as we heard from Cal's interview, he's just game, and he doesn't really care about weight discrepancy. He just wants a scrap, as he said. So should hopefully make for an entertaining match.
Yeah, I mean, Ellenor, one of the more entertaining guys on the scene in MMA and in Jiu-Jitsu, never really has a match that's not entertaining, whether he's winning or losing. But he is now coming in hard on that front face lock and round to the back.
And that was superb. Got a hold of the head and shoulder, brought him down to the floor, and he's got that seatbelt going there. Oh, he's got really good control of the left arm there.
Gets one hook in and the second right onto McLennan's back, and he's already got his arm around the neck.
I mean, to get into this stage when you're not yet sweaty, it's going to be quite difficult for Scott to peel himself out of this one.
Yeah, Scott's hand fighting hard, but Pacino is an aggressive fighter.
Yeah, and Cal's doing an excellent job of just monitoring the top hand. You see, as he let go, he just slipped that hand in, and he's just constantly threatening the neck. This is, there it is again. Just as soon as he gets his chance, he finds a little gap, shoots the hand across.
Yeah, and this can sometimes be the strategy with jiu-jitsu, can't it? Just constantly attacking the same area and just keeping going until somebody makes a mistake.
Yeah, particularly in a position like this, when you're in the back, when you're hand fighting, any time there's even a split second where there's a small gap to just wrap the arm around the neck, you typically want to take that. It's effective, it works. And we see Scott's trying to get a little bit of distance between Cal's chest and his back. He's trying to turn, spoil the angle slightly. He's
doing well. He is kind of making a little bit of space here, but Cal Pacino is like a dog with a bone.
Yeah, he's really persistent. He's really keeping that hooks in. You see he's got his hips out at his side. Perfect. He had his hips to his side there. He's kind of riding, and he was dragging Scott back to the mats. Really nice.
Now he's locked up that body triangle, and on a bigger lad like Scott, that does take it out of you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the body triangle, if the dimensions are right, it's very difficult for the person stuck to escape. There are always exceptions, but it's a very firm position. You see Scott's trying to grab a hold of the upper body on Cal, but he's not really having much luck. Again, that body triangle was just spoiling that particular attempt to break the hold.
Cal's still just desperately trying to get his hand underneath Scott's chin.
Yeah. Scott's doing his best to defend, but it's still not the best position. Again, Cal coming from a really good pedigree under Ellis Younger of Northeast Jiu-Jitsu, who himself is under North Coast Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, and
sorry.
Of course, Cal Pacino as well, setting up his own gym just now. Exile Jiu-Jitsu, looking to bring through a whole new generation of savages just like him, which is a fairly terrifying prospect.
Yes, Lord help everyone. Oh, and he's on that neck again, just the littlest gap, and he's on it. Palm to palm grip there, looked like.
Yeah, he's certainly working for Scott McLellan, still hand fighting furiously, but
yeah, just trying to 2-on-1, peel it off, get his head out. That's good work there, but he's given up his left hand in the process, or left arm I should say. And again, this is tiring if you're stuck in his body lock.
We are pausing, just moving back into the middle of the ring, I think.
Yes, Marcelo Copa, just keeping an eye. Oh,
I think Cal Pacino possibly stealing a little bit of energy there from Scott with his pose.
Yeah, a little bit of entertainment for the fans.
We do enjoy a bit of showmanship here at SGI, and Cal Pacino brings it in bucket loads.
Oh, absolutely! What a character! God bless him. And again, this hand fight that's been going for a few minutes now. This is you see that left arm of Cal's around the neck. He's just looking to get a little anchor on Scott's right shoulder, or any sort of point we can just lock that in place.
Yeah, Scott McLellan pushes that arm off again, but Pacino just switches arms and attacks with the other one.
Yeah,
it's such a frustrating position to be in. We've all been here, and it's so frustrating when someone's on your back and you just can't find a way to get them off.
It's exhausting, and it's also slightly unnerving as well, especially if you know they're particularly good from there and if you've been there for a while.
Yeah, it's that constant kind of hand fighting and feeling the hand sneaking under your chin. It gets dispiriting after a while as well.
And one thing you'll notice is that Cal has been switching between kind of the body lock, or the, locking his legs off there, or having his feet free and dangling, but he's always had his hips slightly off to the side in certain positions. He's not always completely square to Scott's back.
And what difference does that make then, Giles?
Well, sometimes if you're looking to control someone, you can sort of have your hips slightly askew to the person, have both hooks in obviously, and it helps you stretch them out a little bit and stops them from moving. It also means you can drag them back to the mat a little bit easier. There's certain Danaher black belts like Adam Millam, for example, who favour that, combined with a power half Nelson, for example.
Yeah, Pacino did lose one hook there for a bit, but taking it back, and yeah, I mean, Scott McLellan fighting really hard here, managed to pop that hook out again, but I think Pacino has managed to turn it into that body triangle again, and yeah, again, this is just a grim position for Scott McLellan.
Oh, it's horrible.
Because Cal Pacino is going to try and flatten him out here.
Oh yeah, he's going to try and put that pressure on. He's a little bit high on the back, and he's a little bit high. There's always a slight risk of getting shucked off, but with his legs in that position there, locked off, it's a bit difficult. It can't really be done easily. And he's using that left leg of his, just kind of monitoring Scott's left leg, just kind of keeping a track out as well. Really good, intelligent use of the body lock and switching between that and having the legs open as well, but having hooks inside by Cal.
All about having the right hold for the right moment, isn't it?
That's it, right tool for the job. And he's on that neck again. He's incessantly throughout this match, he's been consistent. Oh,
that was the tap there, yeah. Yeah, you spotted it, Giles. He got in under the neck, and as soon as he did, that was it. Cal Pacino, a dominant performance there.
Absolutely. I don't think anyone can argue with that at all. Just consistently on the back, consistently threatening, and all he had to do was get one opportunity, and he took it, and that was it. Very well done by Cal. Very dominant.
Great reaction from the crowd as well, obviously. Cal Pacino making himself as popular as he is wherever he goes.
Yeah, just that. And this is another sort of feather in his cap.
But that is that for this round. So let's go backstage and hear from Cal Pacino.
Took the guy tried to single leggers and defended, took his back, controlled him, power half, kept crushing him down, tried to get up, tried to go across his face, power half, and just kept control, slow cook him, try to marinate him a bit. As I say, he was super strong, really good defensively, but I felt like I knew it was coming. I could feel the more and more energy I was, like, you know what I mean, putting into him. I felt like he was slowing, and I thought eventually I would have went under the neck, but I just had to go across the face and crank it off a bit. But he's a super sound guy. It was an exciting match, fun. I got a bit of crowd surf. I don't know if you saw when he was crawling away and I was tensing up when he felt that was a pretty sick moment. I'll enjoy that. But other than that, it was a good match.
And in terms of your strategy, whatever, did you implement that?
I just thought, just get in and have a scrap. Like, as I say, I mean, there's areas I feel like I'm better and areas I feel like I'm worse. But for me, just get in and have some fun.
So Giles, that is our first semi-final set. Now it's going to be Cormac Anderson from Draig versus Pacino Ellenor. What do you think of that match?
I mean, that match, what can I say? It was dominant. He got in the back and he was very careful to keep it, not let it go. Intelligent with hooks. Was looking for the one opportunity and got it. I think he's dangerous.
Yeah, and that match in the semi-final is going to be an attack of two back attackers. We've seen two guys going for the back pretty relentlessly. It's going to be an interesting battle. So our first semi-final is set, but to find out who's going to be in our second semi-final, we need to get into our next match, and that's going to be Steven Playfair of Playfair Jiu-Jitsu taking on Neil Laird from Lycans. What do you make of this one, Giles?
Well, both of them are very seasoned competitors in the Scottish scene. Steven Playfair, I remember seeing him as a blue belt compete and being immediately scared of him. And I've also had the pleasure of rolling with Neil a few times. He came to my gym recently, and again, solid all-round competitor. This should be a good match, but I think Steven is particularly dangerous.
Well, Giles, to get us ready for this match, let's hear from our competitors, from Neil Laird, and first, from Steven Playfair.
This is I think my third SGI. I did a very early doors one. Might be in the SGI 1 or 2 actually. And then I've done one of the quintet style tournaments before. We've done here before as well, which was good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Yeah, it should be good fun. Predominantly more gi focused last year, so want to get involved with some more no gi tournaments.
That's great. And how do you feel about the tournament lineup?
It's really good. Yeah, really good. There's certainly some big names in it that I saw, so I was quite excited when I kind of saw the names coming out. There was a few kind of rumours of who was involved with it. So no, it looks great. It looks good fun. There's some really good guys, and the standards obviously always high. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That's brilliant. And how do you feel about your first round opponent?
Yeah, I don't really study my opponents too much, to be honest with you. I kind of focus on my own kind of game. Like I say, unless it's like a person that's maybe very kind of popular for a certain technique or whatever, then I'll have a look at it and see. But generally, I try and focus on my own game and look to implement that. So
that's brilliant. And is there anybody you'd like to meet later on in the tournament?
I think we'll just see how it unfolds. Obviously, like, you can't really control these things, so I try and focus on the things I can control, my game, my jiu-jitsu, and I kind of take it a match at a time and yeah, see how we get on.
That's great. And then have you fought any of these competitors before?
Yeah, I fought Jack before, who's obviously notorious for his leg lock, so, and came a cropper of that in the past, so I'd quite like to get a good another pop at him again and see how we get on this time around. And trained with a couple of other guys before as well, so interesting to see how everyone's kind of progressed and developing. So.
And could you tell viewers, what should they expect from you?
I don't know. I think I quite like kind of mixing up upper body, lower body attacks. I definitely want to focus more on kind of lower body attacks. I think that kind of no-gi has that platform for it. But even kind of more traditional Marcelo Garcia influenced, Ordinsky influenced style, butterfly guard. I'm a big fan of butterfly half, this kind of stuff. And you can't go wrong with a good guillotine as well. So big fan of guillotines.
I've competed on SGI. Done one match here before and I lost a referee's decision. So not going to be the same today.
Okay, great. So how do you feel about the tournament lineup?
I'm looking forward to it, man. Some good guys. I trained with Jack quite a bit, but never rolled with any of the other guys before, so looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it.
Great. And how do you feel about your first round opponent?
Steven Playfair, it's my first round opponent. I don't really know too much about him. I know he's the same age as me, same weight as me, and both brown belts, so let's do it, man. See how it goes.
Right. And what should viewers expect from you?
People getting pinned down and then rear naked choke, man. That's it.
Well, great to hear from both guys there as we get underway again.
Yes, So this will be quite an interesting match. Steven Playfair, as I mentioned, I've competed against him before, and he scares me. Really proficient practitioner. I've seen him compete over the years. Just keeps on getting better and better. However, Neil Laird, I had the chance of rolling with him a wee while back when he visited my gym, and again, he's a veteran of the scene, knows what he's about. So this will be very interesting.
Yeah, and we do see Stevie Playfair here going straight into that butterfly guard he was talking about. Be interesting to see where he goes from here.
Yeah, and he was saying he was looking for a little bit of lower body, perhaps mixing it with some upper body attacks, and the butterfly guard is a good place to do it from. He's got that left arm overhook. You might be looking for a little elevation there if you can to get on those legs, especially if you can shoot that left leg through. Oh,
nice sweep from it, and straight into mount.
Excellent. And he's crossing his ankles underneath the sort of backside of Neil, making it more difficult for the mount to get disrupted. Neil's turning, he's trying to shake him off.
But that's just exposed his back, and there is Stevie Playfair on the back with the body triangle locked in.
Yeah, and again, this is very early doors as well. They're not sweaty, so it's going to be a little bit easier for Stephen to get that purchase in his grips and whatnot. And really disciplined head position here from Stephen. He's monitoring Neil's head, making sure he's not getting shoulders and head to the mat. Excellent work so far. Consistent grip fighting, and sort of peeling and punching limbs away as he needs to.
But there is that under the neck, under the chin.
It looked like it was, and was that a little bit of smothering? I saw.
It might have been.
Oh, and there's that arm snaking round again. I see a theme developing here. And Neil's doing his best to try and scoot hips out slightly. He wants to create a little bit of angle, grip fight a little bit, but
that looks tight. That looks like it might be done.
Body locks on tight.
Neil Laird surviving though.
Yes, he's doing a really good job of hanging in there.
Loses the body triangle, Stevie, just back to the two hooks. That may give Neil a wee bit of space to escape.
Yeah, and you see him bridging up, trying to get his head and shoulders clear a little bit.
And there, one hook is out.
Yes, however, Stevie's left leg is over Neil's left arm, or at least monitoring it, so it's still all to play for.
Yeah, and this rolls through, trying again to get his second hook in. I think has he trapped the arm there?
Not quite.
Not quite. He is working for it though.
Oh yeah, he's really insistent on it. His right leg was doing a good job going across the belt line and just trying to keep the hips locked in place. And he does have his left leg on top of the hip, and he looks like he's trying to isolate that left arm / shoulder. Yep.
Yeah, really trying to trap that arm off. And I mean, that's one of the most helpless positions in jiu-jitsu, when your arm's trapped and somebody's on your back.
Yeah, but the thing to note is that in the meantime, as Neil's worried about the arm coming over the shoulder, whilst he focuses on that, it's possible for Stephen to sneak an arm around the neck. All he needs is one opportunity. Oh.
Yeah, trying to trap the other arm now. Stevie knows what he wants here, but that looks like that choke is deep.
Yeah, and you see Neil starting to look a little bit stressed here. He's focusing on his breathing. He's really fighting.
There, and there's the tap. Yeah. Neil Laird fought hard there, but from the moment Stevie Playfair got his back, it seemed like this one was over.
Yeah, it was excellent transitions by Stevie. As Neil was trying to roll out or escape or run away, Steve just chasing it and then found his opportunity, locked arms in, and then that was that.
Yeah, another great performance from Stevie Playfair. As he said, trying to get more into the no-gi scene, having been focusing a lot on gi competition for a while. And there's no better place for him to do that than right here in SGI.
Absolutely.
But as usual, let's get backstage and hear from our winner, Steven Playfair.
Run us through what happened. How did you feel?
It pretty much went to plan. You're looking to play bottom game for sure. Not looking to have any crazy scrambles with the wrestling today. I went to plan. Like I said, I was looking for kind of butterfly. Again, looking for our guillotines. If I have opportunity to enter the legs, but obviously looking to get the back as well for sure, which is what I ended up getting. So managed to stuff the wrist, overhook, hybrid butterfly sweep, and then just chasing the back, and then managed to keep him the back pretty good. He was very strong. I thought I had him initially just with the one arm choke. I was asking him afterwards, but it wasn't quite there. He was playing pretty smart with it. He wasn't getting anything away. A little bit of an exchange. from the body triangle to an arm trap, trapping the arm and then getting the job done with the full RNC off the back of it. But yeah, it was a bit like, it was very strong for sure, but just keeping composed and not kind of panicking too much as I'm trying to just basically transitioning through it. So yeah, it was good. Went to plan anyway.
So that is our third semi-finalist decided now, Giles. Stevie Playfair, do you think he's got a good shot in this tournament now?
Yeah, I think so. As I mentioned earlier, he's a real veteran of the scene, and he was very dominant in that performance against Neil Laird. Very good at chasing the pack, but he is going up against other people who are similarly minded in terms of chasing the back. So,
well, speaking of that, we are now coming to our last quarter-final, and this is going to be Luke Johnson from Next Gen in Liverpool taking on Chris Sterling, another one from Draig in Wales.
Yes, so this will be an interesting match. Draig, again, working with the Impact Bristol team, they've got a great set of grapplers coming out of there, as well as MMA fighters. However, Next Gen is quite a well-established gym. It's been around for quite some time and has produced a real host of excellent MMA practitioners as well as grapplers. So, should be a very exciting match.
First SGI, yeah.
And how do you feel about being a part of this tournament?
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I can't wait. It looked like a good opportunity, so I applied for it, and they're lucky enough to have me on. So I'm buzzing, to be honest, mate.
Brilliant. And how do you feel about the tournament lineup?
Yeah, it looks good. There's a couple of guys that I know, a couple of guys I'm not so familiar with. Obviously, I've had a last-minute fill-in for my match, and someone pulled out. But yeah, feel good. Always feel good. Feel confident.
That's brilliant. And what do you think you feel about the first round opponent?
I don't really know much about him. I think he stepped in at the last minute. So I'm buzzing that he stepped in. I've got another match, but yeah, I don't really know too much else. Just go out, stick to the game plan, same old, isn't it?
No worries. And so, you know, who would you like to meet later in the tournament?
I'd ideally like to meet my mate Cal in the final. Me and him have met in the final of a couple of tournaments. That'd be nice. It's always a good scrap, so it's good fun.
Brilliant. And have you fought any of these other competitors before?
Yeah, Cal Ellenor I fought before. One of the other lads I've trained with, but that's about it.
And what should viewers expect from you?
Exciting match. Go out and try and get finished people.
Well, Giles, we did mention that Chris Sterling weighed in very late. He's actually very undersized as well. He's coming in at 70 kilos to face a man in Luke Johnson at 89.8. This is a big weight gap.
Yes, one of the few advantages you have, however, of being a little bit small is that you're typically a little bit more nimble, a little bit faster on the feet. However, that strength advantage can decide an awful lot of exchanges, so it could be a difficult night for him, frankly.
Yeah, Chris Sterling actually was originally intended to be in our under 70 kilo tournament. That's why he came in at 70 kilos. But there's been a bit of a last minute shuffle in the under 90 kilo. He got asked to move up, and like many of these guys from Draig, he's looking for a fight and he's willing to take on anyone.
Yeah, having said that, you look at the exchange of the wrestling here. He's doing a really good job of keeping superior head position. He's fighting really well for the grips. He was attempting to make sure that he's not getting his centre of gravity disrupted. And again, in with that posture, head, top of the head, right in against the neck of Luke Johnson. So good upper body grappling here so far from Chris.
Yeah, I mean, strength is not irrelevant in grappling, but technique can overcome a big bit of that difference, can't it?
It can, however...
oh, wow.
Oh, hello. Now, that's a double-edged sword of the roll through Kimura. Channeling his inner Sakuraba there. As you roll through the Kimura, is a small risk of the person, if they're savvy to it, of taking it back, if they can link their hands in and prevent the elbow from getting fully exposed or knocked out.
We did get very close to that, but we are now back in the middle in a kind of half-guard position.
Yes, and expert referee Shea Montague setting him right and making sure everything's as it should be. Shea Montague, obviously, world champion.
Yeah, Shea, of course, he's been... struggling with a little bit with a knee injury recently, but has been spending a lot of time refereeing, loves to be up close to the game, loves to be watching and learning from anyone he can.
Absolutely. Absolutely top level athlete, the best that Scotland has, frankly. And we see here he's going for a little bit of a leg entanglement, but he's getting smashed. This is going to be quite difficult for him, especially with that weight disadvantage.
Yeah, the bigger man on top there, it's a grind for the guy underneath.
Yeah, and obviously Chris was looking to...
And there he is past there, looking for Turtle though.
Yep.
One hook in.
So Chris is doing a pretty good job of trying to turn out and not let his chest get suctioned to the back of Luke Johnson.
Of course, he has turned now into a flattened half guard, which is not any better.
Yes, and you see that right arm of Luke is going all the way around the back of the head. He's just levering him open. Excellent control. And he's now looking to free his knee. He's going to try and clear that knee if he can. If he could walk his right hand a little bit further up the tricep / bicep, I should say, then he'll get even better control in the back of the head and just keep
and then
moving.
at the same time they're just wiggling that knee free, trying to drive forward, looking to get into mount or to free that leg perhaps, and for a better chair set opportunity.
Yeah, and he's doing an excellent job of just trying to crawl Chris's elbows up. General principle, when you're moving to a top position, like a mount for example, you always want to try and isolate elbows from the body. And again, he's being very patient here. He's not moving too much. He's not giving too much space for a smaller practitioner like Chris to slide out or make little adjustments.
Yeah, this is a big man game he's playing, putting the smash on, keeping heavy, keeping tight, and giving the smaller guy no room to let that flexibility and that speed play its role, play its part. And he is now into mount. Just not a fun night for Chris Sterling so far.
No, and you see Chris trying to make a little bit of space, see if he can throw his legs to one side, windscreen wiper, and try and get a little bit of space, even a centimetre or two. He's doing a really good job here. He's no longer smash flat, and you see him trying to pop out the back.
Oh, he's almost there.
Yep.
But yeah, lifting that weight off you when you're into turtle, that's a tough lift.
Yeah, absolutely. Carrying all extra weight, but it was a very good attempt by him. He avoided being smashed, and he also avoided giving up an armbar, which was nice. However, Luke's just looking to leave it at arm and strongman jiu-jitsu.
Well, at least Luke Johnson didn't ride him like Pacino. I mean, that's something.
True. He showed a little bit more decorum, you could say, I suppose.
But he is into mount there, a little bit off a strange angle. But like you said, trying to lever those elbows away from the body.
Yeah, I think the main thing is when you're mount and you're flattening your partner, if you can isolate an arm at least away from their body, then you've got a better chance of stopping them from bucking, rolling, or otherwise making space to escape. So it's a good mount work so far by Luke.
Chris Sterling at this point maybe regretting moving up 20 kilos in weight tonight.
Yeah, you see him,
but it's just great to see fighters that want to fight. We saw it earlier from Pacino, guys that just want to get in and fight bigger guys, tougher guys, want the toughest test they can find. And Chris Sterling is certainly getting that tonight from Luke Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the game wouldn't be what it is without guys who are simply game and just want to have a scrap, as someone said earlier, I suppose.
Yeah, he's got that elbow pretty well isolated. It does look like he's maybe going for the arm triangle here.
Well, you see the right arm's been fed through. He's feeding that right hand through again. He was trying to get that same leverage, trying to lock out Chris's neck and shoulder.
And there's Americana.
Yeah, a classic. Possible wrist lock if he's feeling nasty. You see him trying to wing the elbow out ever so slightly and separate the wrist and hand further away from the head. And he's just
good recovery from Chris Sterling though.
Yeah.
But Luke Johnson just starts attacking the other arm this time.
Yeah, I mean, in this position here, so long as Luke's clever and keeps on isolating arms at all points, it's going to be very difficult for Chris to get out. And the pressure, and when you think about it, when you're trapped underneath someone who's nearly 20 kilos heavier than you, and you're constantly bucking, moving, rolling, trying to escape, he has not got infinite energy. He's in real trouble.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with when somebody is bigger. I mean, it's a lot to deal with somebody your own size if they're good. But somebody much bigger who's as good as Luke Johnson is.
Yeah,
it's a tough night for Chris Sterling here.
Yeah, and you see Cross was posting with his left arm on Luke's hip there. However, Luke was clever enough to spot that and just ripped it away and straight to a little bit of head and arm control once again. And he's taking this sort of technical mount here. Oh, no.
Possibly looking for the mounted triangle here.
Yeah, so he went to S mount. So
and there it is, triangle arm bar. Is he going to get this here? Has Chris Sterling gotten an escape from this triangle?
Well, he's in really dangerous waters here, frankly. Both arms are exposed, you see.
Oh, and there is cutter armbar on the far side. Really just clinical performance from Luke Johnson.
Yeah, he had the benefit of the weight, but also he had a very calm, measured game. Took the grips, took the dominant position.
And he wins. Yeah, a tough night for Chris Sterling. It would be really great to see him come back, face somebody in his own weight category, because I'm sure he's got a lot more to show than what we saw tonight. So Luke Johnson now does move forward to face Steven Playfair in our other semi-final. Let's get backstage and hear from both the guys.
Can you just tell us a wee bit about, the strategy for the match and what happened?
Yeah. So my main idea was to keep the wrestling on the feet for a little bit, try to get them tired as much as possible. I find with bigger opponents, if you get them to the ground whilst they're fresh, they can just literally throw you off them. So I was trying to make them tired of the wrestling. Did get them down eventually, which I was happy with. Had like a sniff off the back for a bit. Nearly had it, ended up reversing position. We got in a leg tie up, did well to defend it. I then tried attacking my own leg. So from where I was on top of him, that gave away the sweep. And the way we landed, like both my legs were crossed, he was on top of me. And yeah, as soon as he was past my guard, mate, it was what a fun time. But I lasted about 5 minutes with him on top. But yeah, with a minute left, found the opening and took it. So fair play to him.
Can you just tell us something, like what surprised you about your opponent?
Nothing really. I knew he was going to be strong. I knew his name from the scene, so I knew he was going to be super experienced. I knew it was going to be a tough match. If I was clever, I could find my openings. I did find my openings, but obviously against bigger opponents, like you got to make the most of them. The second you make like even a tiny bit of mistake, they make you pay so much. So yeah, next time just need to be a little bit sharper. But I feel like I did well in the majority of the match.
So I took a lad called Chris Sterling from Draig. He stepped in the tournament late notice. Match went well. We come out pretty explosive on the wrestling. Struggled to get good head position on him, but he shot a takedown. I recovered from half guard, got on top, and just pretty much stayed in mount, threatening submissions. Eventually got the triangle armbar to finish.
And how do you feel? Did you use your strategy?
To be honest, I always stick to the same sort of game plan. I don't really do too much like strategizing. I have my go-tos, and I think if it goes here, I'll do this. If it goes here, I'll do that. I just like to be a bit more free-flowing and not get caught up in like, I should be doing this.
What surprised you about your opponent?
He was super durable. Like, he was really durable. Like, there are spots that I've had like guys in before that they've sort of given up in, and he, like, fair play, he fought right up until I caught the sub, and once that was out, it was undeniable. But yeah, he was super durable, man. It was a tough match.
So that was Luke Johnson and Chris Sterling. Luke Johnson now moving on to face Steven Playfair, and that is our semi-finals now set. We're going to see Cormac Anderson facing Callum Ellenor, and we're going to see Steven Playfair versus Luke Johnson. Giles, how are you feeling about those semi-finals?
I mean, I've got to say that it's going to be particularly exciting, thrilling, I might even say. They've got some similar approaches in terms of looking for the back, an awful lot of back attacks going on. So I want to see what happens when two worlds collide, so to speak.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. We are going to see those semi-finals in 2 weeks, because next week we are starting on our under 70 kilo tournament. Giles, how are you feeling about that one?
Well, speaking as a natural featherweight myself, I'm looking forward to seeing my people compete. Under 70, a little bit lighter, a little bit faster, also very, very technical the lighter you go. So that'll be one for, perhaps for the purists, but also one for exciting scrambles. Really looking forward to that one in particular.
Well, that is next week right here on SGI TV, but that's all we've got time for today. So Giles, thank you for joining us, and fans, thank you for joining us, and have a good week. Till next week.